I have for you, I can't deny. She doesn't treat you the way you want it to.
Welcome back to another episode of Girl Huh with Maya, where we talk about things that make you say, Girl Huh. So, welcome back to another review and recap of Zatima season 2. And this will be episode 13 and 14. The episodes are entitled Never Too Late and Redemption. So, we pick back up in Dr. Reed's office where Dr. Reed and Zach have basically helped Zach not convince, trick Fatima into attending a therapy session with his mom and Jeremiah. So this was a very intense scene. I had to give the Val his kudos. Like he really acted this scene out. Like I felt every emotion in this scene. So Zach basically goes on to say that if he doesn't have money, he feels like though Jeremiah and Gladys don't care about him and they don't love him. But Jeremiah always he always brings up, well, I did a bid for you, but exactly, okay, you did a bid for me, but what about all the armed robberies I committed from ages 9 to 17? Because you said that me committing the crime wouldn't get us any big time. But even when I did those crimes, I had nothing to show for it because you and Gladys would take the money and leave me in the house hungry and starving. So Jeremiah is high out his mind. I didn't realize that he was on drugs. I just thought he was just, a drug dealer and an asshole. I didn't realize that he was on it too. So he strung out, scratching, itching, mommy, and all type of stuff. And Gladys' whole thing was, Fatima don't want you, your daddy didn't want you, nobody wants you. So like, please be for real. So Zach let her know, hey, if you two, I'm about to lose the best thing that ever happened to me, following behind y'all. And if you two can't come to me clean and with love, I just don't want nothing to do with y'all no more. And at this point in the state that they're in, both addicts, they don't care. So Gladys just took the money and went on. Oh, she threatened to hit Zach and all, just really sad. Like basically like nobody wants you. She don't even want you. And I think that made Fatima really emotional because she got to see how what Zach was going through and why he kind of reacts to the way he reacts. So after his family left, Zach was like, Fatima, I love you, I can't lose you, all of that. So Fatima was like, this makes, I'm so sorry about this. Like, it makes perfect sense of why when you think I'm choosing somebody over you, you react a certain way. But I don't know of her to ever. That's when I was like, sometimes Tyler Perry writing just throws me off. I've never seen Fatima choose anybody over Zach. So that kind of confused me. And then she brought up the elevator. And I don't think the elevator was when he was meeting her. It was when he basically put her out of the hospital. But when she came back, Connie was there. But that was neither here or there. We know how Tyler Perry writes. But Fatima just told him, hey, I'm so proud of you. Keep getting help, but don't do this for me. Do it for yourself. And that was it. And Dr. Reed basically like, that's true, Zach. Fatima left and Zach was like, keep coming. You did good. Most people, what you did, it takes people a long time to do, like bringing their parents. But also, you got to give Fatima time to heal from what you did. And so he's just crying. And that scene was very intense. Like, that was a good scene, but it was like kind of disconjointing to me because, like I said, the elevator. I mean, he did a lot in the elevator, but when he basically threw her out for Connie, like you was embarrassed, but you threw me out for Connie. That's when I wanted her to bring up. And also, I don't feel like she ever chooses anybody over him, whereas he can't say the same, as we know. Next, we see Fatima crying in the parking garage at the law firm, and of course, here comes Paul. I'm starting to believe what Zach said about him slashing my girl tire, because where are you coming from? And he gives her a handkerchief and kind of picks her up and then tells, they confirm their date. I'm kind of over Paul now because it'd have been one thing if Tyler Perry made this actually where she actually had deep feelings for him and they had like, they do have chemistry, but it's like it doesn't work because we know she doesn't want him. So like this whole Paul thing does nothing for me, because it'd be one thing if she was like really into him and having like a dilemma between him and Zach, but we know with Zach, like she doesn't really want him and he knows it too. He just wants to be in her presence. So this Paul thing is not doing anything for me. Next, we see Angela and Bryce, and they have a conversation that we don't care about, and he gets his stuff, which we don't care about. Like I said, on the team, I care nothing about the secondary characters. The only one that slightly entertains me is Deja. Like, like I said, I'm going to keep saying I appreciate Tyler Perry highlighting and showcasing black actors and actors of other ethnicities, but these ones here, these characters here on Zatima do nothing for me. So I'm to the point where I might not even talk about them at all unless I just really need to. But like, I don't really care about Bryce and Angela at all. While Angela's talking to Bryce and giving him his stuff, Fatima comes home and Bryce leaves. And Fatima and Angela have a quick powwow. Angela's like, "Well, that's officially over because I gave him his stuff back." And Fatima's like, "Well, shoot, all my stuff's still at Zach's house. Like, does that mean it's over?" And Angela's just looking at her like, and this is where I agree. Angela's looking at her like, "Girl, no, because it's not over. You haven't got your stuff because you're going back. Like, please." And then Fatima was like, "No, Angela, it's over." And Angela's just looking at her like, "Girl, it's not over." And then Fatima's like, she's going out with Paul tonight. And Angela's whole thing is, okay, you're going out with him, but you don't like him. So like, why are you wasting your time? But like I've been saying, we know Fatima is just basically using Paul to prove a point. And and they have a discussion about where they were going, and she said she wanted to go back to open mic night, but she didn't want to go if Belinda was there. So Angela said she was going to check to make sure Belinda wasn't there for that night or hosting. Next, we see Nathan, Deja, and Zach. They're all getting out the car. Nathan helping Deja out. Deja sees Zach. "Oh, you've been crying." Zach's like, "Girl, please get away from me." Deja brings up that she's still trying to sue Fatima for whooping her behind, and Zach's like, "Please let it go." And was like, Nathan looking at Nathan like, "Why is you even over here with her?" But he went in the house, and then Nathan was like, basically telling Deja this is one of his first time I feel like he had some sense. Like, "Girl, leave that alone. We was both wrong. We had no business being in their backyard. They got cameras to prove what we were doing and we was trespassed. And then what you gonna do when that lawyer bring up everything you do? You sliding down a pole, all this, that, and the third." And that was that scene. Like I said, Deja's slightly entertaining to me, but I just do not care about the secondary characters on this show. They're not interesting. I'm sorry, Mr. Perry. You didn't do your big one with those. Nathan goes in the house and him and Zach have a conversation. Him basically being disrespectful about Fatima again, and Zach basically telling him, like, "I love you, you're my friend, but you're an asshole, and I really don't care what you're saying." Again, who cares about Nathan, Belinda, Tony, Bryce, Angela, any of the secondary characters? Sorry, not sorry. So Fatima and Angela are having a conversation, and Fatima walked down in her red. She had her, "Oh, put your freakum dress on." She had her freakum dress on. Angela was hyping her girl up. Then she told her, "Hey, Belinda is working tonight, but don't let her ruin your time. I'ma go just so you can have a buffer." And then Fatima, there's a knock on the door, and Angela was like, "Girl, stay right there. I'm gonna open the door so Paul can see you looking good and whatnot." And she opened the door, and it's not Paul, it's Zach. And Fatima tries to hide behind Angela's counter, which was crazy to me because we see you, sis. So Zach and Fatima have a conversation, and he basically says, "I just want to let you know that I did not sleep with Connie." And Fatima's whole thing was, "Well, you might as well have because I slept with Paul." Again, I don't. Fatima knew. I feel like Fatima always knew. Zach didn't sleep with Connie, and Zach knows Fatima didn't sleep with Paul because I feel as if he felt like in his heart that she really slept with him, he would have told Angela's house up. So Angela came back and was like, "Well, Zach, you want to have a glass of wine with me?" And Fatima, your ride share is out there. So once Fatima got in her ride, Angela was like, "Well, all right, Zach, you can go." I guess she was trying to like make sure like it's like let her get in this car so she can go about her business. He won't know where she was going. But anyway, he was like, "No, you said it was a glass of wine. Let's talk." He went to his "woe is me. Nobody wants to see us together." And Angela's like, "When have I ever said I didn't want to see you together? I think you're funny. I think you're smart. I think you're good together. But I just don't like you hurting my friend. And I know my friend, when she's done, she's done." And he was like, "Don't say that, Angela. Please don't say that." And and excuse me, y'all. I just got a text message, but he was like, "Don't say that." And she was like, "Listen, you got to get your stuff together. Like, I think there's something there, but no." But this is what threw me off with Angela. And just when I was on her side, she brought up Bryce. Nobody cares about Bryce, so let's not even talk about that conversation. And basically, Zach let her know. He was like, and she told him like, just chill out, let it go. And he said, "I'm not letting it go." I'm not going anywhere 'cause I won't leave 'cause you put your I'm just playing, but basically she's mine and I'm not giving up. Episode 14 begins with Angela calling Fatima, and she was like, Zach's gone. Fatima wants to know what he said, and basically my dog said he not giving up, and she's low key flattered. Like, I know he's not, but whatever. But she hung up because Paul came to the table, and she's asking Paul, do you see how all these women are looking at you? He's like, yeah, but they don't know the real me. Again, I don't care about this scene because Tyler Perry has basically let it be known, like, Zach is who she want. Like, Paul is just a placeholder that knows he's a placeholder. So it's like I told you, it just lost its luster. And then we get another Bryce and Angela scene again. Nobody cares. Next. Zach goes to the project and get his project shit, Connie, to come ride with him somewhere. This scene just proved that Zach doesn't take Connie seriously. And when I say, like, he got love for her, but he don't got no love for her. Like, she's a, a girl he messed with in the past that he's always gonna care about because, she was there during the hard times, but nothing more, nothing less. So now we're at open mic night, and again, Belinda just can't let well enough alone. She comes to the table where she sees Fatima and Paul. Oh, this is Zach's replacement, and then she goes on her spiel about how she's Fatima's best friend and how she messed up and how she want to get her girl back and just doing too much. And Paul, I give him kudos for this, was like, could you please go before you ruin, our good time? And then she looked at him, was like, I ain't gonna be the one to ruin your time. And he was like, well, who gonna ruin our time? And then we look back and who do we see? Zach. Zach is sitting down at the bar looking at Fatima and Paul on the date. And when looking wasn't enough, my boy got up and went to the table and was like, this you he make you laugh like I make you laugh. And Fatima being the hard ass that she was like, yes, he actually does. Whatever. So he asked him, what do y'all talk about? Fatima was like, politics, books, things that we don't talk about. Zach was like, boring shit. She was like, it's not boring, it is boring. You need that hood, that thug, that gutter. And that whole exchange was kind of funny to me. It just reminded me of the little urban novels I read. That's what the girls in the urban novels like. But in real life, I don't know if that will work. So he proceeds to, now this is where Tyler Perry kind of threw me off. It was kind of hot, but it's also kind of like defeats the purpose of what's going on and what Fatima has been saying the whole time. So he was like, you don't miss me holding you? And she was like, no. He was like, I know you miss me holding you. You don't need him. I'm custom made for you. I know he couldn't hold you like I can. He can't love you like I love you, baby. You know it's true. You should never let me stop. But anyway, so he gonna lick her from her ankles to the inside her thighs and make love in the rain and then trap her, blah blah blah, all this and the third. And she's like, you think I'm finna really go home with you for you saying that? He was like, yes. My girl was hot and bothered, hot and bothered. Now, what blew me about this was one of Fatima's biggest gripe was that anytime things was going wrong, Zach felt like sex could fix everything. She mad at him, that fix it. He mad at her, that fix it. He's had a horrible day sex, so it's like, maybe you shouldn't had him equate sex with like what he wanted to do to her. Maybe he should have had a conversation about like, talking or whatever. But that's neither here nor there because my girl was feeling it. She was hot and bothered, and she enjoyed it because when he left the table, he told Paul, enjoy this date, but it's mine, like, and you're paying for the drinks, which was funny. But when Paul was like, that was corny, she was like, that wasn't corny. I was like, see, Paul, like, you keep wasting your time with this lady and she loved every minute of this shit with this man. Like, please. That's why the Paul and Fatima thing is not given because she's enjoying everything that Zach is doing. We see Zach go back and sit at the bar and he talks to Nathan and Tony, and Nathan's talking this shit, call Fatima a bitch, and he was like, boy, shut up. And then Tony was like, man, chill, like, go get your girl back. So Zach goes on the stage and basically spills his tea that he didn't sleep with Connie. He lost a good woman because she thought he slept with somebody. He didn't sleep with Connie. And now we figured out why he went and got Connie. Because Miss Connie came out and basically said, he ain't sleep with me. And I'm mad about it because that thing be thanging and he be putting it down. Belinda, Angela, Fatima, Tony, Nathan, and Zach, they just looking at her like, ma'am, excuse me. But you can tell that it kind of hit Fatima like, okay, so he didn't sleep with her, which I think she knew he didn't. And Belinda is being a hater. Like, if you're not gonna sing, get your ass off the stage. So what did my boy Zach do? He sung a Babyface song, and nobody knows it but me. He sung it horribly. It was kind of cheesy and corny, but it is what it was cute. But when he looked up back out in the crowd, Fatima was gone with Paul. If you got older black women in your life, you've heard the saying, the best way to get over an old man is to get under a new one. And that's what Fatima tried to do. But again, Paul cannot turn her faucet on. It's just not doing it. So I forgot to say that Zach told Fatima at that table that he was on his Silk Sonic. He was gonna leave the door open. And he told Fatima, I'm gonna leave the door open for you. So I guess Fatima couldn't get it going for Paul, but she was hot and bothered, so she went and got her some Zack Attack. And baby, that was a Tubi worthy HBO after dark worthy sex scene. My girl had her thigh on his shoulder. Very much given I'm trying to knock you up. But that's how it ended. Now, I'm not sure if that was a dream sequence or if Fatima really did go over there. But I'm thinking she went over there and she gonna leave. Like, she went over there just to have sex. Like, she want him to know, like, this was strictly sexual. So these two episodes was cool. Again, like I said, the secondary characters are lackluster. Paul is lackluster because we know, like, she doesn't have anything for Paul. So it's kind of like a waste of time. But I'm intrigued and I'm interested to see where this is going. This was your girl Maya, and this was Girl Hunt with Maya, and I'll see you again. I'll talk to you again next week. Bye.
Yeah, it's all I want us to be. Oh yeah, you're the one for me. I know that you're somebody else's guy, but these feelings that I